Mr. V. Kalyana Rama, Chairman and Managing Director of Container Corporation of India, now joins us. Sir, good morning and thank you for joining us. First, let's understand with what your read of the economy is. As of now, there are you can see the recovery, but you cannot smell the recovery. There is reason to be optimistic based on the macro data, but if I look at what's happening in the world, and especially the business which you represent, which is completely dependent on economic growth, there is optimism, but there is no pickup in business activity.
Good morning. So there is a pickup in the export-import sector. Of course, imports, we are able to see good tendencies developing at the gateway ports. Exports still, I'm not finding that much volumes, but exports also good. In fact, things are better. Yes, there is definitely an optimism in the air.
Good to hear that. Mr. Rama, morning. Let's also, get in some numbers here because reports are indicating that while EXIM trade and port volumes have improved in the month of April and May, it is not quite reflecting in rail EXIM container volumes. Would you say that's a fair reading?
Yeah, it is increasing. That much trend is good because we normally don't crunch the numbers in between. Anyhow, this quarter I hope it will be good because we are seeing the daily trends going on well. There is increase in the volumes, and as I told you just now, the dependencies at gateway ports is a good indicator for us. So that arrivals into the gateway ports of imports and the clearances, even after good clearance from the gateway ports, still there are pendencies. So that shows that yes, things are improving and more goods are coming into India. And on the export side, some areas are doing well and some areas still have to pick up. So that's, I feel, yes, pretty good. So there is, yeah, go ahead.
If I look at the basic freight trend in India, and I'm talking about the domestic freight trend, railways market share is at a historic low. The road traffic or the road freight is at a historic high. I know the government is trying to really fix that mismatch, but so far the data is not indicating that anything great has happened in last 2 years. When do you think this change will start automatically move towards rail freight? Because if business moves towards rail freight, that could be the turning point for you as well.
You see, if I look at my performance in the last financial year, which we have given in the May end, 26th of May we have given the figures, we are not down as far as our volumes are concerned or our business are concerned. So container transportation by rail actually little looked up. So the percentage of increase is in originating loading is around 3.8%, something like that. I don't recollect the figures right now, but it is around 3.8, and then volumes and handling have gone up good, and in fact our EXIM handling was the highest in the last financial year. Coming to railways as a whole, if you look at the last quarter of the last financial year, Q4 of 16-17 was very good for railways. In fact, there was a good demand pickup in the rail wagon requirements. The traffic moved by the railways. Now, I do not know where from these historic figures you are quoting. Yes, there was the road is picking up more share and railway share is coming down. In the last 2 years also, railway was not, last year, except Q4, there was, downtrend in the railways. But Q4, we could see the demand pick up. And in the first 2 months, I think May also railways did well. Whatever the railways has given the announcement is good. So let's hope that rail share will pick up in the overall freight scenario. But coming to container specific, the things are better. Last year also it was better, and this year the trend is good.
Right. So let's try and understand what GST would mean, Mr. Rama. And all hopes are resting on GST for transition to unorganized logistics from the organized logistics from the unorganized market currently. While surely it's a long-term positive, how do you read the transition for you in FY18? And would you say there could be some teething troubles?
You You see, what required in GST is more of the preparedness for the GST. So, my company, we are fully prepared. We started this exercise with sufficient time in hand, and we are ready for implementing GST. But GST implementation will be smooth if all the stakeholders, they do this transition smoothly. So what is required is a little bit of business re-engineering is required from all the stakeholders in the supply chain, what we call the logistics supply chain. So there will be some sort of analysis, maybe macro-based analysis, micro-based analysis needs to be done. We are doing it. So there will be like business to customer transaction, maybe the business has to pay the freight, business to business there will be no effect except that some cash flow problem may be there if it comes to rail transport compared to road transport. Otherwise, yes, this transition, there may be some issues, but I don't see much of it because we are geared up and we will definitely guide all our customers how to do it. We opened our, all the people are ready, the specific cells are formed and they are working on it on all the sides, not only in the account side of it, giving the accountal, the invoice, uploading into GST, and that's an accountal part of it. On the business side, people are working on how to do the business re-engineering, how to guide the customers, how not to lose the share from the rail side onto the road, because we are predominantly rail-based transporter. So these things are all on course, and I hope we will be able to guide our customers very well.
Okay, so what should, if I ask you or if I request you for a forward-looking comment, what would be your volume growth guidance for FY18?
This already I have given. See, the volume growth I am expecting will be around 10 to 12% this year.
10 to 12% this year, but FY19, FY20 is when the benefits of the direct freight corridor would kick in for Container Corporation. So when do you think the first benefits would kick in because of direct freight corridor?
You see that as soon as the dedicated freight corridor starts operation, we will be able to get the benefits out of it because we are ready for it. Our infrastructure is ready, and we are ready with our double stack operations. In fact, we are doing quite a bit of double stack even now also. That is giving us the experience to do the double stack after the DFC operations start. Now, DFC operations, when they start, I don't want to make any guess. Whatever I am hearing from the people around, and I talk to my colleagues in the DFC, I hope the DFC is coming up, and as soon as it starts from one of the gateway ports, either Mundra and Pipavav, they're supposed to be connected earlier compared to JN port. If they get connected to the gateway port, the benefits will start accruing to us because our infrastructure across the DFC alignment, we are developing 6, out of which already 3 are operational and 3 more under development. So there will be hub and spoke model, and we already have a lot of experience of doing this hub and spoke and double stack in the present scenario on the Indian railway system itself. That is giving us all the operational experience, field experience, planning, everything ready for the DFC. So it's only the DFC has to commission, and once it starts operation, we'll be able to reap our benefits.
So can you give me not a definitive but an indicative timeline? Will you see some financial flow through in FY19, in the second half of FY19, or we are being optimistic right now?
Now, let me not make a guess about DFC operations, but as I told you, the indications are that the DFC operations will start in the calendar year of 2019 anytime, maybe 2018 end. So it's not sure. They have not come out with any definitive date. So as of now, indications is that in 19 there will be operations. So that 19, if it is earlier part of 19, it will come into 1920, or else it will go 1819, or else it will go into 1920. But there will be, yes, the benefits will start accruing, in the calendar year of 19.
Okay, Mr. Rama, such a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today on ET Now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks much. In fact, that's the management of CONCOR, one of the buzzing stocks, talking about as to how they're seeing an increase in volumes, dependency at gateway ports, which he says is a good indicator. They're saying they saw a pickup in rail freights in the fourth quarter, and that they are fully prepared for GST implementation. They will need little business re-engineering by stakeholders in the logistics chain. So extremely hopeful and exciting, or rather anticipating the GST rollout with bated breath. So that's the word coming in from CONCOR. This was a big buzzer yesterday, and today too the stocks is putting on about almost 1% currently in trade.